What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. Today, we are going to debate whether or not Conor McGregor is still an elite UFC lightweight fighter. Plus, we give a sneak preview into what Conor's future looks like going forward. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick. Well, I don't know if you're as shocked as I was at the result from Saturday night, but Dustin Poirier gave us quite a show, and I think it has to beg the question: is Conor McGregor still an elite UFC fighter?
I was probably just as surprised as you at first, and then I realized Dustin Poirier. I mean, he's good. Don't stop hating on the guy, And I love Dustin Poirier, but I thought Conor McGregor was a better fighter, and he clearly wasn't. But Conor McGregor, he's definitely still an elite fighter. Oh, Dustin almost didn't make it out of the first round. The Conor absolutely dominated him in the first round. Dustin was scrambling. You saw his eyes rolling in the back of his head multiple times. He was dazed so much in that first round, and then he finally got his bearings. Conor McGregor has fought twice in the last 2 years, or three times in the last 3 years, if we want to talk about that. He needs to fight more often, and that's what he's been asking for. He wants to fight more often. He's tired of being out of the ring this long, and that's something he alluded to right after his fight was, ring rust got the best of me, and that's part of the answer. The other part is he just got straight up beat. Dustin Poirier,
He outclassed him.
he really did. You know what? Dustin Poirier is ready to fight for a title, and that's where he is. Conor is not, but Conor can get back to being a champion if he fights more often. And I think that he needs, now that he has a better idea of what a complete mixed martial artist is fighting. I mean, let's go back to 2018 when he fought Khabib. Khabib doesn't use leg strikes. He just completely dominated Conor without them. In 2020, we saw Conor McGregor fight Cowboy Cerrone, where he absolutely demolished him in the first round using those shoulder strikes. He never got to experience what Cowboy had to offer. He has not had a lot of experience in the ring in the time that calf kicks have become very prevalent. He has not had to experience them. So when he's in his camps, he's not looking for them. He's not training for them. He's not trying to strengthen his calves and his quads and get ready for those leg kicks. Now that he has a better sense of what he's up against as far as a complete mixed martial artist, he can now prepare better. He'll have a better idea of how to tactically come up with ways to defend it and to counter it. I believe that Conor McGregor is extremely smart. His combat IQ is off the charts. He knows how to fight in pretty much every scenario. And now that he's been faced with obstacles he hasn't faced before, he's going to learn how to correct those mistakes and then improve upon everything else as well. Conor McGregor is going to come back stronger than ever, and I think that we're going to see that in his next fight, probably this summer.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a silly question, and it was posed to us by some of our viewers, so I wanted to at least make a video on it and definitely, bring it to light. But Conor McGregor is still an elite UFC lightweight fighter. I mean, there's just no question about it. Is he a top 5 contender? Yeah, I would say so. I wouldn't put too much weight on this loss for Conor McGregor. I believe overall Conor McGregor still has what it takes to compete for a title, and I think that there is a very clear road on how to get that done. Nick, why don't you start off? What do you think Conor McGregor has to do to get back into title contention?
It really starts with him fighting as soon as possible. Look, he didn't take much damage in that fight. I mean, besides the calf kick, which he said was absolutely dead in the size of an American football, I mean, you know what? That'll heal itself. He'll be ready to go in 3-4 months if he really wanted to. I don't know if Dana can put together a fight in time, but I mean, even by this summer, he should be fighting. No later than this summer should we see him back in the octagon. Conor McGregor needs to get more experience. He's been out of it so long between the retiring and just the time in between fights. I just think that he needs to sit in the ring with all of these lightweights. The lightweight division is absolutely stacked, and we just added Michael Chandler to it, and we saw what he did to Dan Hooker. I mean, this division is loaded, and he needs to just get more experience against these guys. Look, him and Dan Hooker both lost in on the same card. They both need to work their way back to try to get a championship fight. I think that this is the match to be made. Dan Hooker against Conor McGregor. Look, it might not be the flashiest fight to put together, but I believe that these two need to use each other to get to the next level, to prove why they should be in championship talks.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, this is a perfect scenario for Conor McGregor. I think Dan Hooker presents a unique challenge. He's got the height and reach advantage on Conor, so it's not going to be an easy fight for him. There's going to be a lot of things that Conor's going to have to improve on moving forward to beat a fighter like Dan Hooker. But I think he can easily get that done. And then if you're talking about what it takes to get to a title, I think after that he's going to have to fight somebody like Michael Chandler or Justin Gaethje. I think that it has to be the fight afterward. I think those are the names that we really have to look forward to and say, Conor, if you can beat Dan Hooker and then one of Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje, I think that's exactly where we have to take a look and say, if you beat those two, now I think we can line up a title fight for you, depending on who takes over for Khabib now that he is officially and fully retired. Well, that'll do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. That'll be all. Peace and love.